be honest, most men walk through life completely blind to the subtle signals a woman gives when she wants you. You could be standing right in front of her, hearing every word she says, laughing at her jokes, and still miss the single most important truths that she's desperately trying to communicate without ever saying them outright. And the reason most guys fail isn't because women are complicated. It's because most men aren't trained to see the invisible language of desire, the quiet, almost imperceptible cues that reveal exactly what she wants, who she's drawn to, and whether you're the man she's imagining in her mind. You see, there's a science to attraction and a psychology to her signals. When a woman wants you, it's rarely loud or obvious. It's hidden in small gestures, in micro expressions, in how her eyes shift when you walk into a room, in the tiny hesitations or sudden sparks in her voice when you speak. And here's the hard truth: if you can't recognize these moments, someone else will. She'll give you every chance to understand, every opportunity to read the signs. But if you don't, she'll move on silently without ever saying a word. Most men think it's all about flirting, about confidence, about grand gestures. But that's only half the story. Women operate on a different radar. She's watching for presence, for authenticity, for the way you respond when she gives you just a hint, a flicker of attention that could mean everything or nothing. She doesn't just want someone to notice her, she wants someone to decode her, to see the truth behind the facade. And this is where 99% of guys fail. They see her smile and think it's just a smile. They see her laugh and assume it's just politeness. They hear her voice and dismiss it as ordinary conversation. But in reality, each movement, each glance, each word is a breadcrumb, a carefully placed clue that tells you exactly how she feels about you. Here's another truth men rarely grasp. Desire isn't always about physical attraction first. It's about emotional resonance. A woman will test your awareness, your patience, your attention to detail long before she even considers letting herself be vulnerable. That flicker in her eyes when she catches you looking at her, not random. The way her hand brushes yours, seemingly by accident, not random. Even the tone of her laughter, slightly higher, slightly breathier when she's near you, is a secret signal most men miss entirely. These aren't accidents. These are the language of attraction. And if you're blind to them, you'll never truly know when she wants you. Let's also be honest about fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of overstepping. It paralyzes men every single day. But here's the secret. Women don't want perfect. They want aware. They want the man who sees the signs, reads the room, understands the dance of attraction without needing her to spell it out. She's testing not just your desire for her, but your ability to notice, to interpret, to act without hesitation when the moment is right. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the exact behaviors, the exact gestures, the exact micro moments that almost every man misses, and why noticing them changes everything about the way she experiences you. She's rarely going to say it outright. The world has trained women to be cautious, to protect themselves, to never appear too eager. So instead of bluntly telling you she wants you, she drops signals. Subtle, silent, almost invisible. And only the man who truly understands female psychology will catch them. The problem? Most men are too busy trying to impress her, too focused on what they say, how they look, or how confident they appear to notice the quiet language of her desire. And that's exactly why 99% of men get it wrong. Pay attention to how she positions herself around you. Watch how her body subtly leans in when you speak. Notice the way her feet or shoulders unconsciously angle toward you in a room full of other men. These aren't casual movements. They are signs of attention, of interest, of curiosity. Women often mirror the men they're drawn to, sometimes without even realizing it. If she copies your gestures, laughs when you laugh, or finds little ways to match your energy, that is a subconscious signal of connection, a signal that she is mentally and emotionally tuning herself to your presence. Her eyes are another window you cannot ignore. Not the casual glance, but the lingering look that stays just a heartbeat too long. When she maintains eye contact with a slightly softer gaze or looks away with a hint of a smile, it's her way of testing whether you notice her interest. She wants to see if you are paying attention to the unspoken. Most men see only the surface, interpreting this as friendliness, but in reality, it's a challenge, a silent question, asking, "Do you see me the way I see you?" And the right response, awareness, subtle acknowledgement, and reciprocation without overdoing it. Her touch is equally revealing: a brush on the arm that lingers, a playful tap during conversation, a gentle nudge while laughing. These are not random. She is testing your response to physical closeness. She wants to know if you notice her signals, if you respect boundaries, if you can handle intimacy with confidence and restraint. Every touch she offers carries meaning. And the moment a man dismisses it as nothing more than coincidence, he misses an opportunity most men never even see coming. Then there's the voice, the tonal shifts, the tempo, the subtle inflection changes when you speak or when she talks about certain things. Women unconsciously modulate their voice when they are drawn to someone, often softening, adding warmth, or emphasizing words differently. This is her way of communicating comfort, curiosity, and attraction simultaneously. Most men fail to pick up on this, thinking she's simply joking or being friendly. But the truth is, every nuance is a coded message, and only the man who listens with more than his ears will understand it. Here's what you need to internalize. When she wants you, she's constantly sending messages in plain sight, but hidden in details that most men dismiss. Her mind is running a silent test of your attention, your awareness, your ability to read between the lines. Missing these cues isn't just a minor oversight, it's the difference between a connection that sparks into something deeper and a moment that slips away forever. When a woman wants you, it's never just physical. That's what most men get wrong. They see the signs, the glance, the smile, the laugh, and immediately assume it's all about attraction. But desire, real desire, starts in the mind. She wants to feel that you notice her uniqueness, that you see the parts of her she doesn't even show to the world. And the men who succeed are the ones who understand this, who read her signals not just with their eyes, but with their intuition. One of the most overlooked signals is the way she shares personal information. When a woman wants you, she will slowly begin to let you into her world. Sometimes with casual stories, sometimes with deeper confessions. She's testing whether you are listening, whether you are absorbing more than just her words. The way she opens up, her hesitations, the pauses, the careful laughter, these are all invitations. And here's the kicker. If you respond without judgment, without rushing, without overthinking, you will instantly become the man she gravitates toward, often without her even realizing why. Pay attention to how she communicates digitally: texts, social media interactions, emojis, timing. All of these are extensions of her subconscious signals. If she consistently initiates contact, engages with your stories, or responds with subtle playfulness, she is investing energy into the connection. Energy is everything. Women subconsciously measure men by the energy they give and the attention they pay to the nuances of her signals. Ignoring these digital breadcrumbs isn't just careless. It signals that you are emotionally unavailable even if you're standing right in front of her. Notice the laughter, not the generic laugh that happens when anyone makes a joke, but the laugh that comes with slight breathlessness, the one that lingers longer than necessary, the one that seems to catch her by surprise. That is her body responding to the chemistry she feels with you. Her brain is lighting up in ways that indicate interest, and her laughter is one of the purest signals of attraction she can give without words. Most men hear a laugh and think she's just friendly, but a man who understands female psychology knows that laughter can be a powerful magnet, drawing him closer, signaling desire without a single direct admission. Then there's the subtle testing of your reactions, your humor, your confidence, your patience. A woman who wants you will create micro situations to gauge how you handle attention, how you react to challenge, how you respond when boundaries are slightly pushed. It's not manipulative in a negative sense, it's instinctive. She's searching for someone emotionally capable, someone who sees her signals and responds with the right balance of awareness and restraint. Fail these little tests and you fade into the friend zone. Pass them and you step into a rare zone most men never reach. Finally, her presence itself becomes a signal. If she finds ways to be where you are, to linger just a bit longer, to make herself available without overtly forcing attention, that is a deliberate invitation. Every moment she shares in your space, physical or emotional, is a calculated risk on her part, a risk she only takes with men who matter, and yet most men still miss it. They dismiss it as coincidence, luck, or friendliness. But desire is never accidental. It is crafted, expressed in micro details, and waiting for the man who is paying attention to catch it before it slips away. Most men completely misread escalation. When a woman wants you, she doesn't usually announce it. She inches closer in ways so subtle that 99% of men never recognize the signals until it's too late. She's watching your reactions to small intimacies, how you respond to proximity, how you react to playful teasing, how you mirror her energy. Every flicker of attention she gives you is a test, a gauge to see if you're aware enough to meet her unspoken desire. Miss these moments and she will quietly step back, often leaving you wondering what went wrong. One of the clearest signs is subtle teasing. She may lightly mock something you said, playfully challenge your opinion, or test your humor. This is not about criticism, it's about connection. Women escalate attraction through emotional tension, and teasing is a safe, controlled way to see if you can handle it. Men who respond with insecurity or defensiveness immediately fail the test. Men who respond with humor, calm confidence, or playful counter challenges suddenly become magnetic. She wants to see if you can match her energy while maintaining your presence and composure. That's the secret almost no man understands. Physical proximity is another incredibly powerful signal. A brush of her hand, a lean closer when speaking, a shoulder barely touching yours. These small acts are intentional. She is testing whether you notice, whether you respect boundaries, whether you respond with awareness rather than panic. The trick is she isn't just looking for physical reaction. She's watching how you emotionally respond. Do you acknowledge her? Do you respond with calm confidence, or do you ignore it, dismissing a signal she risks giving because she hopes you'll see it? Then there's the tone of her voice when alone with you versus in a group. Women instinctively modulate their voice to signal interest, softening, deepening, or speeding up slightly when she's engaged with someone she desires. A woman who wants you will often speak differently when no one else is watching. More vulnerable, more playful, more deliberate. Most men hear only words and miss the emotional texture embedded in her tone. But if you truly listen, you'll notice a rhythm in her speech that's almost hypnotic, a rhythm that draws attention, invites closeness, and signals desire without a single confession. Attention to detail is one of the most overlooked signs. She remembers tiny things you said days ago, brings them up casually, or asks about minor things she knows are important to you. This is her subconscious way of showing she values your presence, that she's thinking about you even when you're not there. Most men shrug this off, thinking it's politeness. But in reality, this is her investing emotional energy in you, a rare and powerful sign of interest. Missing it means missing one of the clearest indicators that she's signaling attraction. Finally, watch her eyes when she listens to you, not just a glance, but a gaze that lingers, softens, and occasionally darts away as if she's testing whether you're noticing. Women communicate desire through eyes more than words because eyes don't lie. If she's drawn to you, you'll catch micro expressions of curiosity, warmth, and subtle vulnerability. Men who recognize this and respond with calm confidence are the ones she leans into. Those who ignore it are the men she will forget. Every micro moment, every tiny signal, every test she places in your path, all of it is a map. The men who read it correctly understand the silent language of attraction. Those who don't, they remain blind, watching desire slip through their fingers without ever realizing it. By now, most men think they understand the signs. They've noticed the laughs, the glances, the playful touches. But real desire, the kind that makes a woman think about you when you're not there, that makes her heart race subtly at your name, that lives in micro moments almost no man notices, that's where almost every guy fails completely. The signals are there, but you have to see them with more than your eyes. You have to see them with awareness, intuition, and understanding of female psychology few men ever master. One of the most powerful indicators is vulnerability. When a woman starts revealing insecurities or personal truths to you, even in tiny doses, it's because she feels safe enough to risk emotional exposure. That's a signal of deep attraction. She's saying without words, "I trust you to handle me as I am." Notice not just what she says, but how she says it. Hesitation, glances, voice softening, smiles that come and go quickly. Most men hear this and think she's just being honest, but in reality, it's a coded signal. She wants you to care, to notice, to respond with calm confidence, not judgment. Another invisible cue is the subtle ways she prioritizes you. She'll adjust her schedule, engage in conversations she could ignore, or find reasons to check in on you. Even small things, a text at an unusual hour, remembering details you barely mentioned, or sharing things she doesn't share with others, are indications that you occupy space in her mind. Men dismiss these as coincidence or politeness, but women only invest energy in people they are genuinely drawn to. That energy is a currency of desire. Notice also how she interacts around other men. A woman who wants you will often act differently in groups, subtly steering attention toward you without being obvious. She may mention you casually, laugh a little differently when you speak, or even position herself physically closer to you than to others. These micro choices are instinctive and deliberate. She is mapping the social landscape, testing whether you notice her investment in you. Most men miss it because they are distracted, thinking attraction is loud when in reality it's quiet, careful, and deliberate. Watch her gestures when she's thinking about you. A touch to her hair, playing with a necklace, adjusting her clothing. These may seem random, but they are unconscious signs of preoccupation. She's subtly signaling readiness, interest, and anticipation. It's her body language telling you, I want you to see me, to feel me, to notice my attention toward you. The men who recognize these signs gain an advantage few ever experience. Finally, pay attention to emotional resonance. Does she remember your moods? Respond when you're quiet? Match your energy without being prompted? These are advanced signals that go beyond casual attraction. They indicate she is emotionally invested. When a woman reaches this level of attention, she isn't playing games. She's signaling that she wants something deeper, and she wants it with you. Men who are blind to this often let it slip away, never realizing that the signals were there all along. Desire isn't shouted. It's whispered in micro moments, hidden in gestures, veiled in subtlety. The man who understands these signs steps into a rare zone of connection. The man who ignores them, he remains invisible, missing the signal she risked giving. Understanding her signals isn't just about noticing smiles or laughter. It's about reading the invisible map she's leaving for you. The signals almost every man ignores. The micro moments that carry the weight of her desire. The subtle cues that separate fleeting interest from real intent. She's not going to spell it out. She's not going to hand you a manual. If you can't see what she's giving you in silence, you will never know how close you were to having exactly what you want. Look at her energy. Does it shift when you enter a room? Does she lean in slightly when you talk? Does she laugh with a softness, a warmth, a sparkle that isn't there for anyone else? That energy is her invisible voice calling to you. She's showing you through presence, through timing, through attention that you matter. And if you miss it, you'll never realize the rare connection slipping away right in front of you. Notice how she tests you emotionally, the teasing, the challenges, the moments when she draws you in and then steps back. It's not manipulation, it's instinct. She's assessing whether you can meet her unspoken needs, whether you can hold presence under the quiet intensity of her attention. Most men react poorly. They overthink, overcompensate, or fail to notice. The men who succeed, they observe, understand, and respond with calm, measured confidence, proving that there's someone worth her investment. Then pay attention to her investment. The text she sends, the time she makes, the little details she remembers. These are breadcrumbs of interest. She's placing them intentionally, hoping you'll see them. And here's the truth. 99% of men never do. They assume it's casual.